I'm Bryson Bort, and this is Hack the Plant. For today's episode, I'm joined by David Coher, leader of Southern California Edison's Energy Contract Management Team, which manages their long-term energy procurement contracts, approximately $4 billion annually. David is an attorney who moved from real estate litigation to Southern California Edison, where he established programs for cybersecurity, participation in California's greenhouse gas emissions cap and trade market, and Dodd-Frank compliance. We discussed how the power grid works and the changing landscape of keeping our energy grids safe from cyber attacks.
It's really quite incredible when you consider all of the millions of similar transactions that are occurring simultaneously. The thing is that when you see these things in the movies, and I know you know this, and most of your listeners are probably aware of this, it's not something where you just push one button and the whole thing turns off. It's not about guarding this one red button on one control panel on the proverbial Homer Simpson type screen, right? It's much more complicated than that, which I say partially to indicate of how tough the job is. But the flip side of that is also that that's a great opportunity, right? Because that means that there's plenty of redundancy and plenty of resiliency in the system. And that's the part that gives me greater hope.
We also explored the challenges of establishing a regulatory compliance program. In particular, how to anticipate cybersecurity threats.
It's not just an N-1, right? Normal with one thing going wrong, but thinking N-2, N-3, right? What happens if we have a series of wildfires and that limits which lines we can have operational? And we're in the middle of a global pandemic, so we're limited in our ability to interact physically. It used to be when you tried to get creative, right? Some of the scenarios you would dream up, people would roll their eyes. This could never happen. This could never be, right? Maybe one silver lining out of the COVID pandemic has been that people are more open to more creativity in this role playing because they have a greater appreciation of, some crazy things really can happen and they can come together and all happen at once.
What is next for SCE? What are some potential opportunities and threats on the horizon for the safety of our electric grid? Join us to learn more. Thank you for listening to Hack the Plant, a podcast of the R Street Institute and ICS Village nonprofit. Subscribe to the podcast and share it with your friends. Even better, rate and review us on Apple Podcasts so we can reach even more listeners. Tell us what you thought about it and who we should interview next by finding us on Twitter at RSI or at ICS_Village. Finally, if you want to know more about R Street or ICS Village, visit rstreet.org or icsvillage.com. I'm your host, Bryson Bort. Thank you to executive producer Tyler Lowe of Fader Creative, creative producer William Gray, and editor Dominic Sterrett of Sterrett Production.